This is my 2004 CRF250X. This is the latest project here. I went ahead and picked it up for $1,000, which is a decent chunk, but it does come with everything. As we know, everything doesn't always mean everything, but we will kind of go ahead, go through the bike and see what's going on. The story I was told on it, it was picked up as a running bike. The guy went ahead and did the top end with a new piston and rings and rebuilt the carb. I did actually hear this bike run when I went and saw it. We just hooked up a battery, threw some starting fluid in the carb, and used the e-start, and it actually did start and idle, sort of. Obviously it didn't have fuel in the bowl, but basically he said he just didn't have time to finish it up. So I'm hoping it's actually nothing major. It seems like the motor was healthy. I know it leaked some oil, so that might have to be taken care of, but overall, it seems like it should all be there. So the first thing I'm actually going to do is go ahead and check fluids. I know it has no coolant in it, or at least I suspect it has no coolant in it. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and change the oils, although it supposedly has fresh oil. I don't know how much oil it has. So I will go ahead, check the trans oil, check the motor oil, and fill it with coolant, and we'll see if there's any major leaks or anything like that. So it didn't take much coolant at all, so I do suspect it did actually have coolant in it, which is good because it did run, and I didn't see anything weep out of the weep hole on the water pump, so hopefully that is good. And now we'll just go ahead and check the engine oil and trans fluid. So the oil doesn't look too bad. It has a little bit of a shimmer. That's usually pretty typical for the trans. As long as we don't see big chunks coming out of there, we're pretty good. So the engine side does have a dipstick, and it is all the way full. So I don't think I'm too concerned about that because I can see that the oil is still very clean. So I'm gonna go ahead and assemble the throttle. So there's no really good way to record this, but basically I'm going to hook up the cables to the throttle tube and route them through the middle retainer here, and then put these casings on around it. And that's usually the easiest way to get these dual throttle cables on, at least in my experience. So I got this halfway on. I always point these down, get the cables ran, and you got to make sure you get the right one in the right spot. You can usually look at your ends here with how this goes and figure out which one's bigger, which one's smaller, and then orientate them that way. So I was taking a look at the fuel system, or basically the petcock and the tank feed, and they are both pretty junk. The filters actually come off the tank fill, and the petcock actually leaks just as much as it puts out fuel. So I will order new ones of those, as well as just new fuel line, and we'll kind of get that all sorted. And then I will also, I think, order a new clutch lever, because I don't believe this is the correct one. You can see how it lines up there. It doesn't pull smoothly. I just want to get a new one, and we'll go from there. So it's been a couple days and some parts have arrived, and I cleaned up the oil leaks to see where else it might be leaking from, and it looks like our main drain bolt is one of the culprits, and then I think there's another leak over there that might just be the shift shaft seal. So I have some of those parts, as well as a new drain bolt washer, so we'll go ahead and swap out some of that stuff, as well as most of the fuel components. So over here we have the old fuel delivery system, which has been obviously cobbled together with some random hose, and then the petcock leaks. So went ahead and bought a whole bunch of OEM parts. It actually ended up being pretty affordable. I think most of these parts are only $2 or $3. So we got all OEM hoses already pre-bent. That's one thing I've noticed before, is sometimes using these hoses, these regular hoses, you'll end up with crimps in your lines, and you'll have bad fuel delivery, and your bike will stall out, and then it'll start again 30 seconds later, and it'll be really confusing because it's not getting enough fuel. So these pre-bent hoses are pretty nice to get from Honda, especially since they were only like $3 a piece. So here's the new fuel setup. So we have the old feed, but we put a new O-ring on it. We got the new lines, new petcock, and we should be all good to go. So I went ahead and hooked up the fuel tank with our new line to the carb and everything, and I turned on the fuel, and it looks like we do need to adjust the float because the fuel just kind of started pouring out after the carb filled up. So I think we will have to pull the carb and go through it, make sure it's all clean, make sure the float is adjusted properly, and then we can kind of go ahead and see if it runs and whatnot. Okay, so I got the carb pulled. Basically, I left the hot start cable on since that one's pretty easy to just route back out and back in. But I loosened up the throttle cables here and then on the handlebars to give it enough slack to pull off, and then we could actually pull the carb out once we unplugged the harness. So we got it out now. We'll go ahead and open it up and then see what's going on. So we got the float adjusted and threw the carb back on, threw the fuel back on. We have it on and it is no longer leaking out, so I think we are pretty much set. All the jets look pretty clean, so not too worried about that. It'll probably just be some minor adjustments with the just idle tuning and fuel screw, and that's about it, I think. So one thing I do to basically every bike I get is go ahead and use these seal savers on them, because they actually do work pretty well at getting a bunch of debris that's stuck up in the seals out. And from what I've seen, it actually does help them seal a lot better. So if they are like slightly leaking, this actually works pretty well. I'll go ahead and do it and we can see how much junk kind of comes out of that seal up there. So we can see here that got a good bit of junk out of there. So we'll go ahead and clean that up. And you can actually pull down these pre-seals and then get to your main seals depending on how bad everything is. So I went ahead and did a little bit of work off camera, but basically I just attached the airbox to the subframe, put in the top bolt, and then went ahead and swung it down into place and got the boot on. That boot is usually pretty hard. You got to grease it and then kind of work it on there. But now that is on, and then I went ahead and started putting the wiring harness back up here because I want to go ahead and hook up the battery, and then we can see if it runs, because we want to make sure the carb is all in order before we put everything back together, because taking this rear subframe off sucks quite a bit. So we want to minimize having to do that. So I think we're going to go ahead and throw on the gas tank, throw on the battery, and then see if we can get it to run and idle and see if it's all sorted. Well, it seems to run, so it doesn't sound bad either. It's just idling high because the choke was on, and then I think we got to adjust the actual idle because it seems to be too low, so as soon as I take it off choke, it just dies. But as far as I'm seeing, nothing's pouring out, so that's pretty good. We do have some oil seals we'll have to take care of, but now that we heard it run and it should idle, I guess I'll try to make it idle before I wrap everything up. But if it idles, I'll go ahead and start putting on the rest of the plastics, and then we'll pretty much be ready to go. minus some minor maintenance items like some seals and whatnot. So I think I have most of the mechanical stuff kind of wrapped up here. I got the battery mounted with our new strap, coolant tank mounted. Everything's pretty sorted wire-wise. The only thing up here is we're going to go ahead and splice in new wires for the headlight, and then we'll put that on, and then the plastics, and really I think we will be kind of good to go. We'll start dialing in some things, taking care of little stuff, but honestly it'll be pretty close to being done. So we got some new connectors on there, so we'll go ahead and throw the headlight on. So I took it for a little spin. It runs decent, but now we're gonna go ahead and pull this shift shaft seal. So I went ahead and pulled the shifter. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up nice so we don't get dirt back in it. Pull the seal, put our new one in, and we should be good to go. So now we have our new shifter seal on there. I just used a 15 mil socket to press it on because it worked perfectly, fit over the shaft and within the outer bore. It's been a couple days, but it seems like the shifter shaft seal is holding up great. Honestly, the bike runs decent. It's still not one to idle quite right, so I think we have to strip back the carb and everything and redo all that. But I think I might just throw it on Marketplace, see if I can make a quick buck and flip it, because I recently picked up some really cool old bikes that I want to work on, so kind of need to move on from this project and maybe tackle this one. And another note, I replaced the clutch lever because the other one definitely did not belong on this, so we got the proper clutch lever here. It feels much better, engages much better. Overall, just a good little upgrade. So I think we will go ahead, throw this on Marketplace and see what happens. If it sits, I'll go ahead and tear into the carburetor, but if someone wants to pick it up, take it off my hands, I think we'll move on. Well, just like that, the CRF250x is gone. I listed up on Facebook Marketplace and it literally lasted, I think, 1 hour. Had someone come, give me cash, and they're on their way. Got $1,700 for the bike. I paid $1,000, put about 100 in it, and probably about 5 hours of my labor, and we made about $600, so I'll call that a win. I think they got a good deal too. A 250X for $1,700 is pretty good. Just needs a little bit of work. So I think that's where we'll wrap up this video.